I welcome you all for today's online live session. I am Pushpashri, faculty of Button But Tutorials. So today, Button But team is here to have you an online session based on the exam pattern and the syllabus for Science School, that is for 6th standard. So I welcome all the kids from the management and from the Button But team. So I welcome you all for today's online live session. So hope you're all safe with your family and you're all enjoying your holidays. And during this time, I would like to share that Button But team is here to give you an online live session so you can make an effective utilization of that. Start preparing from today so that you will be the seat holder and signing. So well, student, so I'll be moving on with today's session. So today's session is all about 6th Science entrance exam. So here we will be discussing about the syllabus of 6th standard, especially the science school. So here Button But team will be there with you people to help you out with this syllabus patterns. So there will be my colleagues with you, that is myself Pushpa and one of my colleagues Arpita and Mr. Bindu Madhav. So the people will be sharing a lot of information with you. Please make the utilization. So well, I'll be moving on with my section, that is mathematics. So before going on to the session, let me have some game. Come on, go quickly and get your book. So get your pen and sit. Come on, fast, go quickly. Get your book and sit. Yes. Hope you all are having your books and all with in your hand. Fine. So now, let me play one game with. Let me play a game. So just think of one number, whatever the number it might be. Just think of one number. Just keep in your mind. Don't tell me that number. Keep it in your mind. Yes, students. You kept one number. Let it be from 1 to 10. Between 1 to 10, you can keep one number in your mind, or you can make a note in your paper. Fine. Okay. So now you are having one number with you. So whatever the number that you are having, subtract 1 from that number. Say for example, if I keep 5, I'm going to subtract 1 from that. So in the same way, whatever the number that you are keeping, subtract 1 from that. Done, students? Okay. Next, multiply by 3. So you have subtracted the number, fine, and you got one number. So for that number, start multiplying the that number by 3. Done? Okay. Can I get some responses? Come on, tell me yes or what. I'm not getting any responses. Did you multiply it by 3? Okay. Now, add 12 for that. Start adding 12 to your answer. Done? Okay. So you added 12. Fine. Now, divide the answer, whatever that you got, by 3. Now, divide the answer that whatever you got by 3. Done? Come on, quickly, fast. You have to be hurry up. Come on, guys. Done? Okay. So now, you have multiplied your answer by 3. So whatever the answer that you got, now add 5 for that. Done? Did you added the 5 for that? Okay. So now you got one final answer, right? Yes? Okay. So for that answer, whatever the number that you had kept in the starting, I think you have noted down that, right? So subtract that number from your answer. Done? Okay. So let me rewind back you. So first you just kept one number. You just thought of one number between 1 to 10 and you subtracted one number. You just subtracted one number, right? Then you multiplied the number by 3 and you added 12 for that. After adding 12, you divided that by 3. Fine. And again you added 5 for it. Yes. After adding 5, whatever the answer that you got, so for that answer, you subtracted the number, whatever that you had kept it in the beginning. Done. And your answer is there in my hand, that is 8. Is it correct? Come on, chat it fast. Is it correct? I'm not getting any responses. Come on, tell me yes or no. Your answer is 8. Yes. Come on, good Disha. Come on. Who got 8? Come on, chat with me fast. Yes, Archana, good. And I can see over here Galaxy 7. Yeah, good. And then yes, Arush, good. Well job. Yes. Good Khan. Yes, yes. I'm getting the messages. Yes, very good, children. Wow, I can see so many intelligence here. Vishnu, good. Yes, I got a good students over here. Fine. So, are you happy with this game? Hmm? Yes, come on, thumbs up. I need a thumbs up now. So, are you all happy with this game? Yes. Okay. So now, okay, very happy. That's great. Okay. Okay. So let me stop over here. So again, we'll be playing the game in the next coming slides. Okay. So now we'll just come to our syllabus. So here I'll be discussing about the Science syllabus. So what is the Science school? You people have already chosen the Science school. So you won't be having any common ideas about this and all. So in Science school, you will be having 5 parts. So in that, mathematics is also one of the parts. So in the last session, as sir has discussed, mathematics is one of the important concept that you people have to learn. You must learn this. So mathematics stands as a very important concept here. So there are some tricks in mathematics, friends. So only if you understand those tricks, you can crack your exam. So if you crack your exams, you will be somewhere in science school. So what are all those tips? Make a note of it. The tip 1, you have to understand each and every concept. Whatever the concept that you are having, you have to start understanding that concept. You should not mug up the mathematics. Never ever do this. You have to understand the concept thoroughly. Only if you understand the concept, you can have good marks in mathematics. Next, the interrelate all the topics that you are going to study. What is this interrelate, ma'am? You can ask me that. So interrelate is nothing but, so where, for example, if I take addition, there are so many ways to ask the addition. There will be so many ways to ask the addition. They may ask you directly 2 plus 2, or they may ask you indirectly, you have 2 chocolate. If I give you 2 chocolate, how much it will be? So there will be different ways, but you should be knowing how to interrelate those questions. So once you know how to interrelate the questions, it will be very easy for you to go with the problems. And next, you have to understand the mathematics. The third point, you have to understand the mathematics in your language, whatever the language it might be. So whether your mother tongue is Kannada, Hindi, English, Telugu, Tamil, whatever it might be, but you people have to understand in your language. Once you started understanding the concept in your language, it will be easy for you. So once it is easy for you, you can get your answer very quickly. And then you have to play the games. Play games is not about PUBG, Ludo and all. You have to play the games based on the mathematics. So once you start playing the games which is based on mathematics, your IQ level increases. So you will be very quick in your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and all these things. And then you have to maintain the separate book. So once you started maintaining the separate book, you have to keep the one more book for formulas, because in mathematics formulas are important, right? So once you start making the note of formulas and the notes, whatever the teachers are giving, so that it will be helpful for you. So during your exams time, it will not help you to rush up and down. So it will be easy for you to understand the concept. So maintain a separate notebook, start recording each and everything in that, especially the formulas. Formulas plays a very important role in the mathematics. Next, each problems will be having only one solutions, but how to find that solution is there in your hand. So you should be knowing that trick to find the solution. So you should be knowing what are all the ways to get the solutions for a particular problem. That means what you have to do, you have to go with each and every types of problems. So once you start solving all these things, it will be helpful for you. Last but not the least, practice. Practice makes each and every man perfect. Once you started practicing, each and every day you have to practice. Once you practice, it will be helpful for you. And then you have to review your own errors. So if you are reviewing your own errors, that means if you got some wrong answer, it doesn't mean that you have to leave it there only. So again, you need to go with the problems, check twice, thrice. So how much ever it can be, whatever the errors it might be, just go with back to the problem, start checking the errors. So once you check your errors, and there you'll get to know where you have gone wrong. So when you're practicing only, all these things has to be happen. Fine. Okay. Students are talking with me. Okay. So not a new book. Yeah, it can be of new book. If you can to purchase a new book, you can purchase the new book and you can keep it separately for mathematics. You don't jumble up all the subject. So if you jumble up all the subject, it will be very conflict for you. That means it will be very confusing for you people only. So better to keep the separate book for mathematics or reuse. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes, I'll be moving on with the syllabus now. Hope all this information has helped you people. Yes, is this information was helpful? Yes. Fine, students, let me move on with the syllabus now. So Sainik school, Sainik exams. So main part is mathematics. The first part consists of mathematics. So in mathematics, you will be getting 50 questions. So how many questions you will be getting here? You will be getting 50 questions. Each carries 3 marks. So you can see here. So 50 questions, each carries 3 marks. So totally 150 marks. Make a note that 150 marks you will be getting is only in mathematics. So there will be 50 questions. Each question is going to carry 3 marks. So totally 150 marks. So how this 150 marks are allocated? So next, if I see that, okay. So as I said, there will be 150 marks. Okay. So chapters included. So if you ask me how many chapters will be there, so there will be 17 chapters. So from these 17 chapters, you will be getting 50 questions. And there is no negative marking here. You can be happy for that. So if you ask me what do you mean by this negative mark? So negative mark is nothing but, you see, if you mark any wrong answer, for say for example, instead of marking for C, if you have marked for B, so you won't lose the marks over there. Only they will put wrong for that. And there is no negative marking. That one we are going to call here as negative marking. So hope you all understood this. There will be 50 questions. Each question is going to carry 3 marks and totally 150 marks. And the chapters included here is 70. Fine. So what is the syllabus for Sainik school in mathematics? As I have said, there will be 17 chapters, right? So what are those chapters? So chapters are here in front of you. So first chapter is number system. I think you people can make a note of it. The first chapter is number system. And the second chapter, fraction and decimal fraction. So second chapter, make a note of this. I'll be discussing each and every chapter in the coming slides. So first chapter is number system. Second chapter is fraction and decimal fraction. And third chapter is square and square root. And your fourth chapter is HCF and LCM. So your fourth chapter is HCF and LCM. And your fifth chapter is simplification. And the sixth chapter, that is unitary method. Seventh chapter is average. Your seventh chapter is average. Okay. Next, the continuation part of that. The eighth chapter is ratio and proportion. Ninth is percentage. And the 10th chapter is profit and loss. 11th is simple interest. 12th, time, speed and distance. 12th chapter is time, speed and distance. 13th is algebra. 14th, geometry. 15th, area, perimeter and volume. 15th is area and perimeter. 16th, volume and surface area. And the last chapter, but not the least, that is measurement. So these are the 17 chapters that you will be having in your science school. So these are the syllabus for it. Fine. So you're all making a note of it, students? Yes? Okay, fine. So next, the first chapter, number system. So you people will be having an idea about number system, right? Mathematics means first thing comes to our mind. What is that? Numbers. So mathematics is going to deal with the numbers. So numbers stands as one of the major important role in mathematics. So mathematics is a system which deal with the different types of numbers. So here mathematics is going to deal with the different types of numbers in the number system. So in the number system only you will be having different types of numbers over here. Next, least and greatest numbers. So least and greatest number, what do you mean by this least and greatest number? Least number is nothing but, say for example, I have 1000 and I have 90. So in these two numbers, which is the least number? Which is the least number in 1000 and in 10? Can you tell me? Students, come on. I have 10 and I have 1000. Which is the least number? Okay, my least number is 10. Good, Arush. So Arush is telling good and Disha is telling 10. Yeah, good, good, well done. Okay, so 10 is my least number. And which is the greatest number? Come on, chat it quick now. Which is the greatest number? In 10 and 1000. Come on. Yes, we sure it is 1000, not 100. Good, 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 good. Very good. Fine. So here I will be dealing with these also. And next, when I come to number system, I'll give you one question. Now you have to tell me. Don't ask your parents, okay? You have to tell me the answer for this question. And you Google, okay. So what kind of numbers that we are using? Whether Roman numbers or Arabic numbers, which is the number system which we are using right now. Come on, fast. I can't see any messages, chats now. Yes, good Archana, Arabic. Yes, we are using the Arabic numbers. So Arabic, yes, yes, come on. Yes, Bhavish, good Tushar. Yes, Anush, good. Everyone are telling me the correct answers. Yes, good. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yes, okay. Okay, there was some technical error. Sorry for it. Fine. So in this chapter, we study about different types of numbers. So as I have discussed here, you can see types of numbers. Here we study about different types of numbers. What are those types of numbers? The types of numbers can be the whole numbers, natural numbers, odd numbers, even numbers, integers. So these are all the different types of numbers that we are going to study in this number system. So where here you will be studying about the types of numbers, least number and the greatest number. So next, Roman numbers. So what do you mean by this Roman numbers? Roman numbers is one of the numbers where we are going to make use, especially if you got ranks and all. What they will do in the school, they are going to name that by Roman numbers, right? First rank, second rank, like that. So these are the Roman numbers. So next, important formulas related to numbers. So what are these important formulas? Here, formulas will be based on the divisor, quotation, remainder and the divider. So based on this, in this chapter, we will be having formulas. I think, can you remember in the starting I said there will be some formulas. So that formulas will be coming in each and every chapter. Fine. Next. Then what we'll be having? So we'll be having place value and face value. So what is this place value and what is this face value? So there is a difference between place value and face value. What is that? So place value is nothing but the unit digit numbers. Say for example, if I have 10, 20, or if I have 1000, so in that what is 100? If I have the numbers in lakhs, in that which is there in the tens place, which is there in the hundred place, which is there in the thousands place. So all these things I will be studying over here. So face value here is nothing but the nominal value of a currency. The nominal value we are going to call it as the face value. Next is approximate value. So approximate value, what do you mean by this approximate value? So approximate value here is nothing but, say for example, I have 19.9. So if I approximate this, what is my answer? Come on, tell me now. I have 19.9 as my number. So what is the approximation form of this? Come on, quickly. What is the approximation of 19.9? Okay, so approximation value of that is 20. So this is nothing but the approximate value. So these are the things that we will be discussing in the number system. That is types of number, least number, Roman numbers, important formulas which is related to the numbers, place value and face value and approximate value. So about all these topics, we will be solving the problems in this chapter. So this is about your first chapter, that is number system. So this is about your first chapter, that is number system. Is there any doubt in number system? Students, is there any doubt? You can ask me if there is any doubt in that. No. Okay, Tushar. Yes, Bhavesh, good, good, good. Yes, students are active. Happy to see you all like this. Good. Yes. Hope you all had your snacks, huh? Everyone had your snacks? So only you're all working so fastly. I want the same thing till the end of this session. Okay. And we're moving on now with your second chapter, that is fractions. What is this fraction? Okay. Let me have one game and one logic question over here. I have one chocolate, okay? So I have one dairy milk where there are 4 pieces in that dairy milk. So there is one big chocolate of dairy milk I have. So there are four people are standing in front of me like a beggar, begging for a chocolate. Usually we people will be begging for chocolates, ice cream, biscuits, all the snacks items, right? So there are four people in front of you and you have one chocolate. Would you like to share that? I'll say no, I don't want to share that. Do you want to share the chocolate? Yes, tell me, do you want to share the chocolate? Would you like to share the chocolates, guys? I didn't got any response. Oh, I have the good students here. Okay, fine. You would like to share the chocolates. Okay. There are four people are there in front of you. So what you will do? You have only one chocolate, right? How you are going to share the chocolates for them? What you will do? There are four people in front of you. You have only one chocolate. Come on, tell me what you are going to do. One by four. Oh, good, Gagan. Good, Archana. Good, Rajni. Good, Bhuvan. Okay, Bhavish. Good, 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 good. Okay. Hope you people are gonna share the chocolate. Now I got it. Okay. So you are going to share the chocolate. So how you are sharing the chocolate? I got the answers here as 1/4. This is nothing but fractions. Got it? What do you mean by fraction now? This is the way how we are going to understand the question. You have to understand the questions like this. Once you understand the questions like this, it will be easier for you. So when a number or any quantity is divided into equal parts, one or more of such equal part is known as fraction. That is, one chocolate is being divided between the four people. That is nothing but fraction. So in this fraction, we will be studying about the numerator and denominator. What is this numerator and what is this denominator? You people said me the answer, right? 1/4. In 1/4, 1 is nothing but the numerator and 4 is nothing but the denominator. So this thing you will be knowing in this chapter. And next is types of fractions. What are the types of fractions you have? Improper fractions, proper fraction, mixed fraction. So these are all the types of fraction you have. So if you get the problems based on these types of fraction, how you are going to solve? So that trick I'll be teaching you when I'm doing the problems. And you will be having the operations based on fraction. So what is this operation based on fraction? Operation based on fraction is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of fractions. So once you got to know how to do the addition, which is the main thing that we concentrate on mathematics, we mainly concentrate on addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Correct. So once you got to know about this, it will be easier for you to do it with a fraction. And LCM and HCF of fraction. How we are going to solve the fraction in LCM and then HCF format. This is also very helpful. And then arrangement of fraction in ascending and descending order. So we know what is ascending and what is descending. So when there is a fractional numbers, how to solve that fraction in ascending order and descending order? How to arrange the fractions? So these things will be dealing and will be dealing in this chapter. So this is about your chapter, that is fractions. So in this chapter, we'll be solving the problems based on all these 5 topics. The main important topics in this chapter is, make a note down, that is LCM and HCF of fraction. Why only this topic? Because the same topic has been repeated in another chapter. I'll tell you which chapter is that. So LCM and HCF of fraction. If you learn in this chapter, it will be easier for you when you are solving the problems in coming chapters. Fine. So this is about your second chapter, that is fraction. So is there any doubt that you are having in fraction? You can ask me if there is any doubt in your, if you are having in fraction. Come on students. Is there any doubt for you in fractions? No, no. Okay. LCM and HCF. Okay, Rajani, I'll be teaching the LCM and HCF in coming chapters. Okay. Okay. So yes, okay, friends. Okay, hope you are all understanding this. Okay, fine, fine. So next, shall I move on to third chapter now? Okay, then move on to third chapter. So which is the third chapter? Can you tell me? Can you tell me if you are active in a class? You can tell me. Yes. Okay. Let me go on to the third chapter. So your third chapter is square root. So what is the square root? You people will be having an idea about the square root, right? You will be studying this chapter in your previous classes and all. You will be having at least the knowledge about this square. So square root, what is this square? For example, okay, before going on to this discussion about this chapter, let me check your intelligence. Let me check it on with, oh, square and square root is so tough for me, ma'am. I'm here to help you, Rajini. Don't worry. When I'm here, why you wanna fear? Me and my team is here with you. Don't worry. Oh, shall I give you the question now? Yes. Okay. Okay. 8 into 8. How much? 8 into 8. 64. Good, good, good. Okay. 8 into 8 is 64. What is the square root of 64? 8. Good. Good, 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 good. So the square root of 64 is 8. So what I did here, I multiply the number 8 with the same number, that is 8. 8 into 8 is equal to 64. Okay, in 4th class square chapter didn't came. Oh yes, Bhuvanesh, they don't have the sense to include that. We'll include from the next time. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Okay, fine. Let me move on with this. Square root is nothing but when a number is multiplied by itself. So, if the number thus obtained is called square of given numbers. So, what I did, I multiplied 8 with the same number 8. So, when I multiplied the number 8 with the same number, then I got it as 64. So then what I said you people to do to find out the square root of 64. And you people gave me the answer of as 8. So here the square root for 64 is 8. This is what the square root is. Got it? Okay. So in square root, what are all the things that you will be learning? So in square root, you will be concentrating on properties of square. Properties of square is nothing but if they give you 8 square and 9 square, a square into b square. So this is all comes under properties of square. So you will be knowing about this properties of square over here. And next, which is the next thing that you are going to learn, methods of finding the square root. So there are two methods to find the square root. One is under division method, one is under factor method. So these are the two methods to solve the problems. So whichever the method is easier for you in these two methods, you can follow that and you can have you can do the problems based on that. And next, square root of fraction. So previous slide what we had discussed, fractions, right? So you will here in the square root also, you will be getting the fractions, the square root of fractions. And square next is, so next is square root of decimal numbers. You so in number system, we will be studying about decimal numbers. Here we will be concentrating more on square root of decimal numbers. So when there is a decimal number, so the square root for this, so the square root for this decimal number we will be solving. So this is about your chapter square and square root. So in this chapter also, we will be solving the problems based on the whatever the topics, these four topics, whatever we are having, based on that, we will be solving. entire session up to 6. Okay. Yes. Did you understood this concept? Did you understood? Yes. Is there any doubt for you people? If you have any doubt, you can ask me, kids. Is there any doubt? No? Yes, Arush. What doubt you have? You can chat with me. Yeah. Fine. So we don't have any doubts, no ma'am. Yes, students, you don't have any doubts. I'll be moving on with the next session, next chapter now. So next is HCF and LCF. So here HCF and LCF infraction I said you right, HCF and LCF. So here HCF and LCF is one of the important chapter, easiest chapter where you can score your marks. Even till now, whatever the chapter that we have discussed, the easiest chapters you can easily score the marks over here. So what is this HCF and LCF? LCM is going to stands for least common multiple. LCM is going to stands for the least common multiple, and the HCF is going to stands for the highest common multiple. So here we will be learning about the methods for finding the HCF and LCM. So when we are finding the HCF and LCM, what are the methods to solve the HCF and LCM? So we will be learning this methods over here. And here also we will be concentrating on HCF and LCM of fractions. So in the second chapter, we just studied about the concept of fraction. There I said the one of the most important concept, right? So that is here, that is LCM and HCF of fractions. Okay, here we will be studying only these two concepts. The easiest chapter only if you understand. If you do your hard work, then you can easily solve the problems. So this is about your fourth chapter, that is HCF and LCF. So is there any doubt in this chapter? Is there any doubt in this chapter? HCF and LCF? No? Oh. So next I'll be moving on with your fifth chapter, that is average. So your fifth chapter here is average. So what is this average? Average here is nothing but the average of a given observation or data is a number which is found on dividing the sum of observation or data by the number of observation or data is given. So this is nothing but average. So in simple I'll tell you. So you will be having 6 subjects. Take you're having 6 subjects where each subject carries 100 marks. Total is 100 marks. So okay, well students, I did not learn average in 4th grade. Okay, Arush, I'm here to help you out with the average. Don't worry. Oh, okay. I'm there to help you all. Okay, don't worry. I'll help you the average. Okay, I cannot wait. Okay, okay, friends. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm there to help you. Okay, fine. So, average, I'll just give you an example. For example, uh, okay, Bhavish. Okay, okay. I'll be teaching the average now only. Fine, don't worry. I'm here for you people only. Okay. Average. For example, you will be having six subjects. In that six subjects, you will be getting the marks like in your first language you got 90, second language 99, third language 98, mathematics 100, social 90, science 100. So how we are going to calculate the marks over here? So here you will be totaling your marks, whatever the marks that you have got. Say for example, first language, second language, third language, all the marks you will be calculating. After calculating all the marks, you will be dividing that with how many subjects that you are having. So if say for example, if you are having six subjects and in every subject you got 100, 100, 100, 100, so your total marks here will be 600. When your total marks is 600, you will be dividing that 600 by 6. So you will be dividing it by 6. So when you are dividing it that by 6, that time you will get one number over there. That number is nothing but average. Got it? What do you mean by average now? Have you understood the average now? Did you understood my example? Yes, good. So this is nothing but average only. Why you want to worry about that? If you have not studied, I'm there. I will give you some example. I teach with you. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So there are one of the important thing I have to tell you. People who have logged with this Lenovo and I can see Galaxy and all over here. Please rename. Okay, so that I can get to know who are all there here. So please rename over there, whatever the names that you want to give. So here I can see some of the names. Some people have logged in as 860D. So I couldn't able to find out them. So that if you give your name, it will be easy for me to know who are all there in this session. Okay, will you do that? Yes? Can you do that? Response? Okay. Fine. So please check your name before you are going to log in. Give your name. Yes. Lenovo, I just want your name. Come on, change your name. Okay. Fine. Shall we continue with the average? Parikshit. Yes, Parikshit. Instead of Lenovo, you can give your name. Good, Lalit. You have done this. Very good. Well job. Vishnu, good, good, good. Okay, fine. Let me move on quickly. So what are the things are there in the average? What we are going to study in the average? So in average, we will study about the important formulas related to average. What is this formula? So the main one, only one formula you have in average, that is x bar is equal to sum of observations divided by given number of observations. This is what the formula. As if you take the example, total numbers 600 divided by how many subjects you have. So this is nothing but a formula for an average. And here you will be studying the average problems, that is the problems which is based on the average. So only this is also one of the smallest chapter you can easily study this. But the main thing is you need to understand the concept. What are all the things are there? So here most of the time you will get the sentence problems. So if you get sentence problems, how to read that sentence problem, how to understand the problem. So in the beginning of the session, I said you people, you have to understand the question in your own language. Once you start understanding the question in your own language, it will be easier for you to go for with the further problems. Okay. So here sentence problems will be more. So you people have to concentrate more on it. Fine. Okay. So this is about your chapter, that is average. Is there any doubt that you have it in average? Is there any doubt in the average you people are having? No. Okay. So shall I move on with the next chapter now? Yes? Oh. So next chapter is percentage. Percentage. So percentage you people will be knowing. Usually you people will be getting percentages, right? I think you people will get good percentage here. Yes? Okay, you people will be getting, I know that. Fine. So percentage, what is this percentage means? So percentage usually deals with hundreds. So usually we just concentrate on 100 over here. So percentage means per 100 or for every 100. So say for example, 600, take the average example we take. So 600 is your total marks and you have 6 subjects. 600 divided by 6 gives me an average. But when I come to the percentage, 600 divided by 6 into 100 gives me a percentage. So that is what the percentage means. So this is how we are going to study the percentage here. So next, here in this chapter, we'll be learning about fraction percentage. So everywhere in each and every chapter, you can recognize a similar word, that is fraction, where fraction is very important chapter. Don't neglect, guys. Okay, so fraction percentage people will be studying over here, and also finding the percentage. They will give you some problems like sentence problems they will be. So, and in that problems you have to find the percentage. So how to find that percentage, everything you will be learning in this chapter. And problems based on finding the percentage. So all these things about these topics will be studying in this chapters. So any doubts you people are having in this chapter 6? You can raise your hand if you have any doubts. I'll help you. I'll clarify your doubts. Is there any doubts? Okay. Hope there is no doubts for you people. Fine. Next, I'll be moving on with your next chapter. That is profit and loss. Profit and loss. What do you mean by profit and loss? Okay. Let me give you some task over here. So, are you all ready to play? Yes. Can I get some response? Are you all ready? Yes. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me start it. So I have 10 rupees with me. So I have 10 rupees with me. I'll give the 10 rupees for you people. So I have 10 rupees. I will give the 10 rupees for you people. So what I will tell? I will tell to get the chocolate. Okay. I'll tell you people to get the chocolate of 5 rupees. So chocolate is for 5 rupees. 5 rupees chocolate. You just wanted me to get it. So what you will do? You people will go for a shop. You will give 10 rupees for the shopkeeper, and you will purchase one chocolate. As soon as you purchase chocolate, what happens? You will be in excitement, right? So when you are in excitement, you forget of taking 5 rupees from the shopkeeper. As soon as he gives you chocolate, you start running back to the home. You wanted to give it for me, so eagerly you start running from the shop, and you comes near me and you start giving me the chocolate. So now, is it a profit now? Is it for a shopkeeper or for you? Tell me. Loss. Yes, Pavish, for whom it is loss? Is it for you or is it for shopkeeper? Okay. 5 loss for me. Good, Gagandeep. Okay, for me. Yes, Bhavish. Okay, good. For us, it is a loss. On that time, it is a loss for us because we left the 5 rupees with the shopkeeper itself. For shopkeeper, it is a profit or loss. Profit for shopkeeper. Good, Tushar. Arush, loss for me. Yes. What is loss for you, Arush? You didn't said me that. You are telling loss for me. Shopkeeper profit. Good, Hemant. Okay, loss for us. Good. Fine. So hope you all understood the concept of profit and loss. But this is not the concept, guys. You are still having over here. So what is that thing you are having over here? Cost price. What is the cost price? The cost price of the chocolate is nothing but the cost price. The 5 rupees is there, no, for that chocolate. That is nothing but cost price. And selling price. The shopkeeper is selling the chocolate for how much rupees? 5 rupees. That 5 rupees is nothing but the selling price over here. Next, profit and loss percentage. We said that 5 rupees is loss, ma'am, 5 rupees is profit, ma'am. Right? Then how we are going to find the percentage over here? So percentage chapter is going to deal with this profit and loss. So this is how one and another chapters are interlinked, where you have to concentrate on all the 17 chapters. Fine. Profit and loss percentage we will be studying over here. Next, profit or gain. So profit or gain, it is nothing but 5 rupees profit I got. So this is what we are going to study over here. And loss. Loss is nothing but how much is the loss here? 5 rupees is the loss. And then discount. So what is this discount? See, you will be going in the street. So when you are going in the street, what you will do, there you will see one shop that is of clothes. So people are very need of clothes, right? As soon as we see, we just wanted to buy that clothes because it will be grabbing our attention, correct? But the most important thing where we are going to concentrate there is discount. So in shops and all, you can see discount of 10%, 10% discount on cash price, 10% discount on selling price. So this is all the discounts. Why they will put the discount? To attract you people. That is nothing but discount. How they will calculate that discount? We will be studying in this chapter. Fine. Okay. The important formulas. The main thing which you people need to remember, where I'll be hitting your head to remember these formulas. Every day I'll be asking this. Because why? You have to remember the formulas. Once you remember the formulas, it will be easy for you and it will be easy for you to solve the problems. If you understand the problems, if you know the formula, within 2 seconds you can solve the problem. Last but not the least, here also we'll solve the problems based on cost price, selling price, profit and loss percentage, profit or gain, loss, discount, important formulas. So all these things we'll be studying in profit and loss. So is there any doubt, guys? Is there any doubts, friends? Come on, tell me. Disha is having the doubt. Yes, tell me, Disha. What is the doubt that you have? No, no, no. Okay, good. Hope you are all, hope you're all understanding this. Okay, fine. So next, I'll be moving on with the next chapter. So profit and loss is also one of the easiest chapter. You can easily solve the problems over here. So hope you're all making a note of it. Yes, are you all writing it down, whatever the things I'm telling? Why are you struggling, man? Okay. Yes, you people are writing out. Good. Fine. Shall I move on to the next chapter? Okay. So let me move on with my 8th chapter, that is simple interest. So what is this interest? Can anybody tell me this interest, simple interest? So just tell me, what is an interest form? What is interest? No answers. What is interest? Okay, I'll give you an example. After that, you people will be ready to tell me the answer. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, I have 10 rupees with me. And you people, there is another person who is sitting next to me. He is not having not even a single rupee. but he is hungry. What I have to do? I need to give him money or food, right? So I don't have food. I start giving him money. So I'll give him 10 rupees, whatever the amount I'm having with me. So when I give 10 rupees to him, simply shall I give 10 rupees or to 10 rupees? No, right? I can't give the 10 rupees like that. What I will do, I will start giving I'll start adding a word called interest over that. That is nothing but after 2 days, I'll tell him that before giving the 10 rupees, tomorrow when you are coming, instead of getting 10 rupees, get me 20 rupees. What is this 10 rupees extra? That is interest. Why this 10 rupees extra interest I am putting? Because one day he'll be keeping my amount, right? One day my 10 rupees, whatever the amount that I am giving to him, it will be there with him only. Correct? So, just to make the profit, I'm going to give 10 rupees to him. To save his hunger, he is going to return 20 rupees to me. That extra 10 rupees what he is giving to me, that is nothing but the simple interest. So this in this chapter, so let me know the meaning of simple interest first. So if the interest on a certain sum borrow, that is nothing but the person who is there next to me, he is taking 10 rupees. That means he is borrowing 10 rupees from me for a certain period. That certain period is nothing but for one day he is taking 10 rupees, right? That is the certain period. Calculated uniformly. That is, tomorrow he has to give me 10 rupees. Along with 10 rupees, extra 10 rupees he need to give it for me. That is nothing but interest. In simple interest, what is the simple interest? Everything I'll be discussing in deep when you just join with me in a classroom. We'll have a fun, we'll discuss this. Okay? Fine. So next, in this chapter, you will be learning what is interest, how to find the interest, what are all the ways to solve the interest, everything you will be learning. And next, in this chapter, you will be learning about the simple interest. What is the simple interest? How to calculate the simple interest? So this thing you will be learning in this chapter. Next, principal amount. What is this principal amount? Principal amount is nothing but how much I am giving to him, 10 rupees I am giving. That is nothing but principal amount, guys. So that principal amount, what is that principal amount? How to calculate that principal amount? See, sometimes in question they won't give you directly the principal amount. We need to calculate that. So that calculation of principal amount we are going to calculate over here. So the next thing is, time period. So time period is nothing but for one day the person is taking the 10 rupees with him, right? So the one day what it is there, that is nothing but the time period. Next, rate of interest. So here I didn't calculate any interest. Simply I said, but when you are solving the problem, specifically they will give you what is the rate of interest, at what rate you need to find the answer. So this is all the important things that you will be learning. And the next thing, the important formulas, the main thing that you have to learn in this chapter. So without formulas, no chapter is going to stand. It is like some pillar to it. So how the buildings are going to stand on the pillar. So all these chapters are standing on the formulas. If your formulas are not proper, then your sum will not stand. It will just fall down. So you people should be having the capacity to hold on that. So to hold that, you have to know with your pillars. That means you have to know your formulas. So important formulas. So that's the reason I'm giving the thing over here. The word I'm giving over here is important. Next, the problems. So again, here also we'll be solving the problems based on the interest, simple interest, principal amount, time period. So based on all these things, we will be solving the problems. So this is about the simple interest. This is about your chapter. Yes? Any questions from this chapter? Okay. Is this related to profit and loss? Yes, a bit it is related to profit and loss. Okay, is there any doubt, friends? Can I know if there is any doubt? You can tell me, you can message me, you can chat with me. No? Yeah, hope you all understood this. Did you understood this slide? Yes, students, come on, hurry up. Yes, yes. Why, Tushar? What happened? You didn't understood this? Yes, okay, fine. Okay, shall I move on to the next one? Yes, students, shall I move on with the next one? I just need some creative answers, yeah? You're just telling yes, no. Yes, okay, fine. I'm moving on with the next slide. That is your slide number. That is with your next chapter. That is unitary method. So what is this unitary method? I'll tell you this meaning of this. Let me explain you the unitary method first. Okay. Let me give you some unique example. Okay. I'll give you 20 rupees. So let me jump on to 20 now. We are just dealing with 10 and 5. Let me jump on to 20. I'll give you people 20 rupees. How much I'm giving for you? 20 rupees I'm giving it for you. So when I'm giving 20 rupees for you, I will tell you people to go for a shop. I'll tell you people to go for a shop and get me 4 pens. I'll tell you people to go for a shop and to give that rupees. I'll just, okay, new thing. Okay, Disha, don't worry. I'm here to explain you. Just listen to the example I'm giving for you so that you will understand the concept. Okay? Okay. Let me tell you the example. Then I'll just move on with your chats. Okay. I have 20 rupees. I'll give that 20 rupees for you people, and I will tell you to get 4 pens for 20 rupees. You will go for a shop. You will give that 20 rupees. Shopkeeper will give you 4 pens. Okay. Again, you will be hurry up over that. So you will just start running. I need to give the ma'am first. I need to give the ma'am first. So I'll send 10 peoples together. So everybody will run together. For each of them, I'll give 20 rupees. So everybody is going to run. They're going to rush up for the shop. They all give 20 rupees and get me the food, 4 pens. As soon as the people come, the main question what I will ask, what is the cost of 1 pen? Can you tell me the cost of 1 pen now? Come on, quickly. Good. Good, good, good. 5. Yeah, intelligence. Smart kids, yeah? Okay. When will the class? Okay. Yes, Tushar. But in few minutes I'll end up the session. Don't worry. What, I'm hitting your head, huh? Okay, fine. Okay, 5 rupees. So here, each pen is going to stand for 5 rupees. That is nothing but the unitary method. The cost of a particular article we will be studying over here. So this is nothing but the unitary method. Okay. Okay, friends. So here one of the information for you. So here in the chat sections, I can see 860D8ABC. Can you tell me your name here? And even 94C7573B. Just can you tell me your name? Okay, you just tell me that names. So because I couldn't able to find out who's that. Okay. Hope you will be telling me the name. Fine. I'll just move on with this unitary method now. So what is this unitary method? A method in which the value of unit quantity is first obtained to find the value of any required quantity. Then it is called as unitary method. That is nothing but whatever the example I gave you people. That is nothing but the unitary method. So in this chapter, we'll be studying about the direct proportion. What is this direct proportion? Here it is nothing but sometimes in the problems you will be getting, so 5 books, 10 pencils, 8 erasers, cost is this much. So what is the cost of each of the book, each of the pen, each of the eraser? So this is the way that you are going to solve all these problems comes under direct proportion. Indirect or inverse proportion. What are all the ways to solve these problems comes over here. So I'll be discussing this direct proportion and indirect or inverse proportion once we are going to meet in a class and when we are doing this chapter. Because I'll just show you some of the examples and then I'll be explaining you with this concept. So the next is problems. So problems based on the unitary methods we will be solving over here. So this is about your unitary method, the easiest chapter. So this is one of the easiest chapter where you can score your marks. So only the thing is you have to understand. So did you understood this chapter? Come on quickly. I'm just running lack of time. Come on quickly. Did you understood? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Tushar. I'll be ending the session by 6:30. Fine. Okay, let me go on quickly with the next chapter. The chapter number 10, area and perimeter. So, what is this area? What is this perimeter? So, everything you will be learning over here. So, you are sitting in a room. If you are sitting in a room or if you are sitting in a hall, what is the area of that wall? What is the area of that room? Or if you are holding your cell phones in your hand or laptops, what is the area of that? So you will be knowing that all those things in this chapter. So in this chapter, you will learn about the meaning of area and the problems which is based on the area. And you will be knowing about the perimeters, the surface area of that. You will be knowing about it. And area, next you will be knowing about the rectangle. What do you mean by rectangle? How you are going to find the area for rectangle? How you are going to find the perimeter for that rectangle? So all these things you will be learning here. Area and perimeter of rectangle. So these are the things that you will be learning over here. And diagonal of a rectangle. What is this diagonal? So diagonal of a rectangle, what do you mean by this? So I'll be teaching this when I'm doing with the problems. And square. So you all know what is square. And area and perimeter of a square, which is all based on square only. Right angled triangle and area of a right angled triangle. So what is this right angled triangle? What is the area of this right angled triangle? So based on all these things, that is area, perimeter, rectangle, area and perimeter of rectangle, diagonal of a rectangle, square, area and perimeter of a square, right angled triangle, area of a right angled triangle. So, but all these things we will be solving the problems. So this is about your 10th chapter, that is area and perimeter. Is there any doubts? Okay, so okay, fine. There are no doubts. I'll be moving on with the next chapter. So next is ratio and proportion. So what is this ratio and proportion? So it may be a new term for you. So ratio is the relationship between the two quantities of the same kind. So there are two quantities which is of same kind. The relationship between the one quantity and the another quantity is nothing but a ratio. And proportion. What is this proportion means that? A proportion is a statement that two ratios are equal. Where there will be two ratios and two ratios will be equal. So that is nothing but proportion. Where ratio and proportions are interrelated to each other. So this is also one of the important chapter for you. You have to concentrate more, and if you understand the tricks and logics in this chapter, you can easily solve the problem. I will teach you that tricks. Okay. So here you will be knowing about properties of ratio. So ratios we usually tell 2:1 or 1:2. Like that we are going to tell. So that is nothing but ratio. So the proportion is the statement of two equal ratios where you're going to equalize the ratio. And one more thing here, in ratios and proportion also, we can write the ratio in the form of fractions, where this chapter is also having the connection with the fraction chapter. So, as I said, interrelated to one and the other. And properties of proportion. So in this chapter, we'll be discussing properties of proportion. And don't hurry up, I'll tell you properties of ratio, properties of proportion, everything in detail I'll explain you when I'm doing the chapters. So just know the concept now. Types of ratio and problem. What are the types of ratios that we have? What are the types of problems that we are going to solve based on this ratio? So everything will be discussed. Okay. So about all these things, when we meet in the class, I'll be just giving you a brief introduction of this. Okay. Is there any doubt? Tushar, no, ma'am, can I leave? Is it very urgent for you, Tushar? If it is, yeah, you can. Fine. If you have any doubts, no. Ranjit is telling me he is not having any doubt. Good. I think Ranjit, as soon as he come to the class, if I give the problems, you are ready to solve it. Okay. No, no, no. This 94C7573B, please change your name. And even 8C0, did you change it? Oh. So Ranjit is having, can you change the name of Rajini to someone? Okay, fine. Done. Yes, they will be doing that. Fine, let me move on with the 12th chapter now. Let me do it quickly. Simplification. What do you mean by simplification? Come on, fast, tell me fast. You are running lack of time. What do you mean by simplification? What do you mean by simplify at least? Tell me what you mean by simplify. Okay. Division. Okay. Okay, tell me. Simplification consists of what are all the things? Okay, Ranjit is telling me division. Good. Reducing to lowest form. Yes, in one of the form you can reduce that. Simple form. Yes. Okay. Let me move on with this session. So simplification, reducing the lowest form, simple form, whatever the answers that you are giving, it is correct. Okay. So in simplification, we usually deal with the rule of Vibormus. So the rule of Vibormus here is going to stands for, in Vibormus, V stands for vinculum bar. What is this vinculum bar? It is nothing but bar, the bar will be there about the numbers. Next is brackets. So in brackets we will be having three, that is normal bracket, square bracket and the flower bracket. And off is nothing but a kind of multiplication. D is nothing but the division, M is nothing but the multiplication, A is nothing but the addition, S is nothing but the subtraction. So there they will be giving the problems which is based on the Vibormus rule. So when they give you the problems based on the Vibormus rule, we are going to follow. So for example, okay, we are going to solve the problems. If they give you a bunch of numbers together, if they give you the large numbers along with a division, multiplication, addition, brackets, on that time, we make use of Vibormus rule to solve the problems. That is nothing but simplification. The easiest chapter you can score the marks over here. Yes. Is there any doubts in this chapter? No? Shall I move on to the next slide? Good. Fine, fine. Hope you're all listening to me. Good. So the 13th chapter, time, speed and distance. What is time? What is the time now? Tell me fast. What is the time now? Can anybody tell me? What is the time now? 6:20. Yeah, that is nothing but time only. Fine. What is the speed? Speed is nothing but how much how much speed that the train is running or a vehicle is running. For example, if your father or mother is driving a vehicle, there you can see the speed meter, right? From there you can notify in which speed that they are going. Distance, you wanted to go for your some relatives home or friends home, what is the time is going to take to reach that destination, at which speed that you are going to go, what is the distance from your place to your neighbor's place. So this is nothing but time, speed and distance. So in this chapter we will be learning about this. So here we are going to learn about time and the speed meaning and the distance meaning, problems based on time, speed and distance, and the average. So here average is repeated. Once you got to know the average in that chapter, whatever the thing that we had studied, so it will be easier for you to go with the average speed here. Next is relationship between time, speed and distance. That is nothing but how we are going to do, how we are going to relate the time, speed and distance, how we are going to combine together comes under here. Next is problems based on time, speed, distance, average speed and the relationship between all these three things. Okay, so this is about your 13th chapter, that is time, speed and distance. Is there any doubt? Yes, children? No. Yes. Good kids? You're all chatting with me and you're listening to my lecture. Well, good. Fine. So let me move on with the 14th chapter now, that is algebra. Algebra is also one of the branch of mathematics. So where you people will be having common idea, right? A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square. This all things will be hitting your head, right? Don't worry, we'll just solve those problems in a class in the easiest way with the simple tricks. I'll teach you that. So in this chapter, you will be knowing about the variables and the constant, the meaning of variable, the meaning of constant, the rules of addition, rules of subtraction, rules of multiplication, and rules of division. What is this rules are going to stand for? Can you tell me? Plus into plus is equal to? Plus into plus is equal to? Okay. Plus into plus is equal to plus. Sum. Good. Okay. Plus it. Okay. Minus into minus is equal to plus. Okay. Plus into minus is equal to plus into minus is equal to minus. I'm getting the late replies like plus and all. Fine. Fine. Well, good. 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 Very good. Fine. So hope you all understood this chapter. So this is chapter very easiest chapter. If you are understanding the concept and if you are practicing at your home. Fine, students, we'll move on to the 15th chapter. Yes, we just came to an end. Yeah. Okay. Next is geometry. Geometry is also one of the branch of mathematics. So here you will be knowing about the types of angles. There are so many types of angles. Yes, no? There are so many types of angles. Correct. Can you name any one of the type of angle to me, students? Any one type of an angle. Fast. Any one type of an angle. Tell me. Why so late answers? Right angle. Only right angle. Acute angle. Good, Desha. Acute angle, right angle. Only two angles you are telling her. Fine. Oh. Okay. Well done. Fine. The types of angles will be studying over here, and also in this chapter we'll be dealing with the problems based on the angles. And then Pythagoras theorem, the most important theorem you have to learn here. So about all these three concepts we will be studying in this chapter. So this is about your 15th chapter. Is there any doubt you have in 15th chapter? That is geometry? No. Oh, good. Fine. Next is your last but one, that is volume and surface area. So what is volume? What is the surface area? About all these things you will be studying in this chapter. So one of the important chapter. So volume and surface area is one of the important chapter where you will be studying the problems. Here you will be getting the problem based on the formulas. The most important thing, you have to learn the formulas over here. So here you will be knowing about the cube, the meaning of cube, and we will be solving the problems based on cube and volume of cube. What you mean by this? Everything you will be learning. Surface area, the meaning of surface area, the problems based on the surface area, and also here you will be knowing about the problems based on the area and surface area. So these are the things that you will be studying in this chapter. So you may ask me, why ma'am you are not going in detail? Because here formula stands as a pillar, as I said, the most important thing. So when you come to the class, when you got to know the formulas, it will be easy for me, and also it will be easy for you people to solve the problems. Understood this chapter? Volume, surface area? Yes. Good. Well done. Fine. So next, I'll be moving on with the next chapter, the last chapter of your syllabus, that is measurement. So what do you mean by measurement? So measurement is nothing but how you are going to measure any particular thing. So all these things comes under measurement. Can you give me any example for measurement? Now it's your turn. Come on, kids. Fine. Okay, measurement in this chapter, you will be knowing about measurement of length. How you are going to measure the length. So that is one of the important thing. And measurement of weight. How we are going to measure the weight. And measurement of area. How we are going to measure the area. And measurement of time. How you are going to measure the time. And measurement of volume. How you are going to measure the volume and the problems based on all this measurement. So this is the chapter, important chapter again. So volume, surface area and measurement. The important chapters where you will be having a formulas. You have to know the formulas. Once you got to know the formulas, I will be explaining you about this chapters when I am doing your classes. So this is about your 17th chapter, and yes, hope you all understood this thing. Yes. Okay, Tushar is telling me bye, ma'am. Okay, Tushar, bye. Take care. Fine. So yes. So this is your 17 chapters. So these are all the 17 chapters. Hope you all understood this 17 chapter. Is there any doubt? I'll be ending the session now. Come on, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. No, no. Good. Good students. You don't have any doubts? Well, so I'll be meeting you in your next sessions. So when is your next session? You will be getting an updates of that. So keep in touch with the tutorials, the button but tutorials. And thank you all for being with us. And hope you all understood this session. And thank you all.